You stand at the edge of your own neglect, blind to the slow decay that creeps through your bones, your breath, your very being. You bargain with time as if it owes you patience, but time is indifferent. It collects its debts with interest. What use is ambition if the body falters? What worth is wisdom if the vessel carrying it crumbles? The strong do not wait for sickness to teach them urgency. They act. They sharpen the blade before the battle, not when the enemy is at the gate. And so I ask you, will you awaken now, or will you wait until life forces you to? The silent price of neglect. There is a cost to everything, even to inaction, especially to inaction. The body does not demand payment in coins or gold. It demands it in pain, in exhaustion, in the slow erosion of strength. And yet, so many walk through life oblivious to the quiet toll their neglect is taking, mistaking temporary comfort for lasting peace. It begins subtly. You dismiss the stiffness in your joints as a minor inconvenience. You ignore the fatigue that lingers, convincing yourself that one more cup of coffee will erase it. You tell yourself you are too busy, that you will start tomorrow, next week, next month. And all the while, your body keeps score. Every skipped meal, every night of poor sleep, every day spent in stillness while your muscles cry out for motion, each one is a debt, and like all debts, it must be paid. But when the bill arrives, it does not come with mercy. It does not arrive when it is convenient for you. It comes when you least expect it, when you bend down and feel a sharp pain that was never there before, when you wake up feeling heavy, when you realize that the strength you once had is no longer yours to command. It comes when you watch others move with ease while you struggle to do what was once effortless. It comes when you finally understand that you have traded years of vitality for fleeting moments of comfort. The world does not pause for your suffering. It does not wait while you regret the choices you made. The wise understand this truth early. They do not wait for pain to teach them its lessons. They do not see health as an afterthought, but as a responsibility. So you must ask yourself, will you learn before it is too late? Or will you wait until your body no longer gives you a choice? Your body, a temple or a prison? Your body is the only home you will ever truly own. It is the vessel through which you experience life, the foundation upon which every thought, every action, every dream is built. Yet, how do you treat it? Do you honor it as a temple, or do you let it decay into a prison of your own making? A weak body limits a strong mind. You may possess great wisdom, sharp intellect, and an iron will, but if your body is feeble, your potential remains shackled. The mind and body are not enemies, they are partners. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius trained daily. Epictetus, though crippled, strengthened his will beyond measure. They knew that mastery of the self begins with mastery over the flesh. Look around. How many people have become prisoners within their own skin? They struggle to rise from a chair. They labor to climb a single flight of stairs. They sigh when bending down to tie their own shoes. It was not always this way. They were not born weak. They allowed it. They fed their body poison, let their muscles waste away, treated movement as an inconvenience rather than a privilege, and now they suffer for it. But suffering is not fate. It is a choice. And just as weakness is built over time, so is strength. If you train your body, you train your discipline. If you fortify your frame, you fortify your spirit. When the body is strong, the mind follows. It stands taller, it commands respect. It moves through life with ease rather than burden. So, will you worship the temple you have been given, refining it into a monument of discipline, or will you let it collapse, brick by brick, until you are trapped inside, a prisoner of your own neglect? The choice is yours, but choose wisely, for the body remembers every decision you make. Pain, a whisper before it screams. Pain is not your enemy, it is your most honest teacher. It arrives as a whisper, a quiet warning that something is wrong, but ignore it and it will grow louder. Dismiss it and it will take root. Defy it for too long, and one day it will no longer whisper, it will scream, and by then it may be too late. The body does not betray without cause. That tightness in your back, the aching in your knees, the exhaustion that lingers no matter how much you sleep, these are not inconveniences to be brushed aside. They are signals. They are the body's way of telling you that something must change. But most do not listen. They mask the symptoms with medication, distract themselves with entertainment, convince themselves that this is normal. It is not normal. It is merely common. The wise do not wait for suffering to make its home within them. They act at the first sign of weakness. When a warrior finds a crack in his armor, he does not wait for battle to mend it. He reforges it before the fight begins. The same must be done with the body. Strengthen the weak points. Stretch what is tight. Nourish what is depleted. But understand this: pain will always be part of life. You cannot escape it, but you can choose it. You can endure the pain of discipline, or you can suffer the pain of regret. You can feel the burn of training or the burden of decline. You can experience the discomfort of movement now or the agony of immobility later. The body is merciful if you respect it, but ruthless if you do not. So listen before it is too late, because once pain begins to scream, there is no guarantee you will ever silence it again. Discipline over regret. Every day you are faced with two choices: the short-lived discomfort of discipline or the lifelong weight of regret. One strengthens you, the other weakens you. And yet, most choose regret. Not out of desire, but out of habit. Discipline is hard, yes. Waking up early to train when the bed is warm requires effort. Eating for nourishment instead of indulgence demands restraint. Moving when you would rather be still takes willpower. But what is the alternative? A life where your body withers, where your strength fades, where you watch others live with vitality while you remain a spectator? Regret is the heaviest burden a person can carry, and it grows with time. At first, it is just a thought. I should have taken better care of myself. Then it becomes a whisper. I used to be stronger. And one day, it becomes a scream. If only I could go back. But time does not listen. It does not offer second chances. It moves forward, indifferent to your longing. The disciplined man may suffer in the moment, but he will walk through life with his head high, his body strong, his will unshaken. The undisciplined man may avoid temporary discomfort, but he will suffer every day he wakes up feeling weak, every time he looks in the mirror and sees what he has allowed himself to become. Understand this: pain is inevitable. You will either feel the sting of pushing yourself today or the agony of wishing you had tomorrow. One makes you stronger, the other makes you a prisoner of your own choices. So choose. Will you embrace discipline now, or will you surrender to regret later? Because one day your body will no longer give you the luxury of choice. The illusion of "I'll do it later." Later. The word that has stolen more strength, more health, and more years than any disease. It is the lie we tell ourselves to delay effort, the illusion that time is patient, that opportunities wait, but later is a mirage. It recedes as you approach, leading you further into weakness, further into decay, until one day there is no more later left. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? And how many times has tomorrow come and gone, leaving you unchanged? You make promises to yourself that you do not keep, and with every broken promise you weaken, not just in body but in spirit, because failure is not just inaction, it is the erosion of self-respect. When you betray your own word, you teach yourself that you are not to be trusted. The body does not wait for motivation. It does not care for excuses. It responds only to action. Every day you delay is another day spent growing weaker. Muscles shrink, endurance fades, energy dwindles. You may not notice today, or even tomorrow, but neglect compounds like debt, and soon the cost will be more than you can afford. What you avoid now will haunt you later. The weight you refuse to lift today will be the burden you struggle to carry in old age. The movement you neglect now will be the mobility you beg to regain in the future. The health you abandon in pursuit of comfort will be the very thing you long for when sickness arrives. There is no perfect time to start. There is only now. Action, however small, is the only thing that matters. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Because every later you whisper to yourself is another step closer to a future where you wish you had started today. Health, the wealth you can't buy back. Gold can buy comfort, power can command respect, but no wealth in this world can purchase a second chance at health once it is lost. The sick would trade their riches for another year of strength, another moment free of pain, another chance to move without struggle. Yet the healthy waste their gift, blind to its value, until it is gone. A man will work endless hours to fill his pockets, but refuse to spend even minutes to strengthen his body. He will sacrifice sleep, neglect movement, poison himself with excess, all in pursuit of status or material gain, only to reach the peak and find that his body has betrayed him. What good is success if you do not have the strength to enjoy it? What good is ambition if you have no energy to pursue it? Health is the foundation of all things. Without it, your mind weakens, your will crumbles, and your dreams remain out of reach. A frail body breeds a fragile spirit, and a fragile spirit cannot endure the hardships of life. The Stoics understood this. A strong body is not vanity, it is duty. A warrior who lets his sword rust is no warrior at all. A man who lets his body decay cannot expect to command his mind. Many realize this truth only when it is too late. They sit in hospital beds, regretting the years wasted on neglect. They reach for medicine to fix what discipline could have prevented. They pray for more time, not realizing that time was never the problem. It was their choices. Do not wait until illness humbles you. Do not wait until weakness forces you to value what you once ignored. Strengthen yourself now. Guard your health as fiercely as you guard your wealth, because one day you will wake up and realize that all the riches in the world cannot buy back the body you once had. The strength to face life's battles. Life is war. Every day you wake up to battles unseen, struggles of the mind, burdens of responsibility, the relentless march of time testing your endurance. The weak crumble under these pressures, the strong endure. And strength, true strength, begins with the body. A fragile body breeds a fragile spirit. A man who cannot command himself in the simplest of ways, his diet, his movement, his discipline, will not command himself when greater trials come. The one who shies away from discomfort in training will shy away from discomfort in life. The one who cannot endure the pain of a workout will struggle to endure the pain of hardship. Strength is not just for lifting weights. It is for lifting burdens, for standing firm when the storm comes, for holding your ground when the world tries to break you. Look at history. Warriors trained their bodies not for vanity but for survival. The Spartans did not build strength for appearance. They built it for war. The Stoics did not harden themselves for admiration. They did it to face suffering without fear. They understood what modern men forget. Weakness is not neutral. It is dangerous. It makes you vulnerable to both enemies and circumstance. It robs you of control. And so the question is not whether you will face challenges. You will. The question is whether you will be strong enough to meet them. Will you have the endurance to chase your ambitions, the resilience to keep going when life tests you, the power to protect yourself and those you love? Or will you falter, broken by the weight of a body untrained and a will untempered? Strength is not optional, it is necessary. You do not get to choose whether life will challenge you. You only get to choose whether you will be ready when it does. What if today was your last chance? Every moment you waste is one that can never be regained. You live your life as if you have all the time in the world, as if tomorrow is guaranteed, as if the future will always be there to fix what you neglect today. But what if today was all you had left? What if this moment right now was your final chance to make a change, to take action, to invest in the only thing that truly matters? Your health. You do not know how much time you have. None of us do. Life is fragile, unpredictable, and fleeting. The body is resilient, yes, but it is not invincible. You can wake up feeling fine, only to find yourself unable to rise from bed the next day. You can take your strength for granted, only to realize that it has silently slipped away. Every day you fail to care for your body is a day you gamble with your future. You are playing a game where the stakes are far too high to ignore. What will you regret more? The short discomfort of training, of discipline, or the long regret of lost opportunities, of strength wasted, of vitality gone? The pain of action is temporary, but the consequences of inaction can last a lifetime. If today was your last chance to get it right, would you continue to wait, to put off what matters, to let your health deteriorate? Or would you act now, knowing that each decision you make today has the power to shape the tomorrow you may never see? You cannot control when your time is up, but you can control how you live while you still have it. Each breath you take, each step you make, each choice you put forth, these are the moments that determine your legacy. And so I ask you, what will your legacy be? Will it be one of strength and vitality, or one of missed chances and broken promises? The answer lies in what you do today. Small choices, big consequences. It is easy to dismiss the small things. The extra hour of sleep, the skipped workout, the unhealthy snack, the moment of rest instead of movement. You convince yourself they are insignificant, harmless. After all, it's just one more day, right? One more decision. What harm could one small choice do? But the truth is, small choices compound. They may seem inconsequential in the moment, but over time they add up. A day of neglect becomes a week becomes a month, and months turn into years. The body doesn't break down all at once. It happens slowly, in increments, until one day you realize that your strength is gone and you don't know when it left. You wake up to the fact that you have spent years making tiny decisions that have quietly shaped the person you are today. The Stoics understood this principle well. They knew that small daily practices, whether in thought, action, or health, formed the foundation of a strong, virtuous life. They didn't wait for grand, life-altering moments to shape their destiny. They knew the path to greatness was paved with everyday decisions. Every choice, no matter how small, is a thread woven into the fabric of your future. A single act of discipline, no matter how minor, strengthens your character. A single act of neglect, no matter how harmless, weakens you. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the result of your daily decisions. And so, it is not the big, dramatic events that define your future. It is the small, seemingly insignificant choices you make each and every day. What will those choices be? Will you continue to dismiss them as unimportant? Or will you recognize that the way you treat your body today will shape who you are tomorrow? It is not the grand gestures that will define your strength. It is the small, consistent actions that will either build you up or break you down. The choice is always yours. Suffering now or suffering forever. Every human life is shaped by suffering. This is an inescapable truth. But there is a difference in the kind of suffering we face. There is the suffering of discipline, the temporary discomfort that brings growth, strength, and mastery over ourselves. And then there is the suffering of regret, the permanent pain that comes from choosing the easy path today only to face its consequences tomorrow. You are always choosing one or the other. Every moment of discomfort you avoid now, every choice to indulge, every decision to delay, it all adds up to a future where suffering is inevitable, but much worse. This is the suffering of a body that has been neglected, of a mind that has been ignored, of a life spent in complacency. It is the suffering of waking up one day, finding that you have lost the vitality you took for granted and realizing that it is gone forever. But there is another kind of suffering, the suffering of discipline. The soreness after a workout, the hunger you feel when you choose nourishment over indulgence, the effort it takes to rise early and move your body. It all feels uncomfortable in the moment, but that suffering is temporary. It builds you, it strengthens you, and in the end, it will protect you from the suffering that comes from neglect. This is the choice you face every day, suffering now or suffering forever. The pain of discipline is a small price to pay for the freedom that comes with health, vitality, and strength. But the suffering of regret? That is a debt that grows larger with each passing day, and once it is owed, it is much harder to pay. You cannot escape suffering, but you can choose which kind you will endure. Will you suffer the small discomforts now to build a future where you are strong, healthy, and free? Or will you choose the easy path and allow your neglect to bring you a lifetime of regret? The decision is yours, but know this: one kind of suffering leads to mastery, and the other leads to a life of quiet despair. The power of consistency. Greatness is not born from a single act of brilliance. It is forged in the quiet, consistent moments when no one is watching. It is built on the foundation of daily effort the commitment to show up, to do the hard work, even when it seems insignificant, even when the results are not immediately visible. The path to strength, health, and vitality is paved not by grand gestures, but by the steady, relentless pursuit of consistency. It is easy to think that change requires monumental effort, that one big decision or one intense workout will be the turning point. But the truth is, change comes in the small, incremental steps you take each day. It is in the choice to eat well today, to move your body today, to prioritize your health today. The results may not come immediately, they may not come quickly, but they will come if you remain committed. The Stoics understood this principle deeply. They did not seek to change everything at once. Instead, they focused on small, manageable actions that over time would lead to lasting transformation. It was not about sudden bursts of energy, but about cultivating a lifestyle of steady, consistent effort, and that is how you build strength. That is how you build health. The temptation is always to take shortcuts, to seek immediate results, to want to see the rewards before the work is truly done. But remember, the body is a reflection of your habits, not your intentions. If you want to see change, you must commit to the daily grind, to showing up for yourself, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Over time, those small choices add up to something far greater than the sum of their parts. So ask yourself, will you be the person who starts and stops, who seeks instant results and abandons the effort when it gets hard? Or will you be the person who shows up every day, who commits to consistency, and who over time reaps the rewards of that unrelenting effort? The power to change lies not in doing more, but in doing what matters every single day. Mastery over the mind. Your body is not the only thing that requires discipline. Your mind does too. The body may be the vessel, but it is the mind that guides the ship. And yet we often neglect the mind's role in our health. We train our bodies, but we fail to train the thoughts that shape our actions, the beliefs that shape our behavior. If you want to change your body, you must first master your mind. The mind is where everything begins. The desire to stay in bed, the justification to skip a workout, the excuse to eat poorly, the voice that tells you later. It is the mind that convinces you to take the easy path, to avoid the discomfort of discipline, to settle for mediocrity. It is the mind that creates the story of why you can't, why it's too hard, why you'll start tomorrow. But here's the truth. The body follows the mind. If you can control your thoughts, you can control your actions. If you can conquer your mind, you can conquer your body. And if you can conquer your body, you can conquer life. The Stoics practiced mastery over their minds every single day. They understood that their thoughts determined their reality. They trained themselves to recognize and challenge their excuses, to silence the inner voice of doubt, to face discomfort with clarity, and to act in the service of their highest purpose, rather than their fleeting desires. This is the key to strength, health, and vitality. Not just physical strength, but mental strength. The mind is the first battleground. If you cannot overcome the excuses, the doubts, the fears, you will never succeed in overcoming the body. But if you can train the mind to see discomfort as growth, to embrace challenge as opportunity, to view every setback as a lesson, you will find that the body will follow. So ask yourself, who is in control? Are you the master of your mind, or is your mind the master of you? The greatest victory is not won through physical strength alone. It is won through mental strength. And once you master the mind, the body will become a willing servant, ready to carry you through life with unwavering power. The choice to live with purpose. A body without purpose is like a ship without a rudder, adrift, directionless, at the mercy of the winds and waves. You may live, but you do not truly live. You may move, but you do not move with intention. A life of aimless existence will lead to nothing but regret and decay. If you wish to build a body that serves you well, you must first build a life that gives it meaning. The Stoics understood the importance of purpose. They knew that living with intent, with clarity of vision, was the cornerstone of all discipline. Every action, no matter how small, should be in service of a greater goal. Health is not just about the absence of illness or pain. It is about living with purpose, with energy, with the vitality needed to fulfill your mission in life. Without purpose, your health is just an empty vessel. With purpose, your health becomes a tool, a weapon to be wielded in the pursuit of something greater. What is your purpose? What is it that drives you, that ignites a fire within you? What do you want to achieve, to become, to experience in this life? Without purpose, every moment spent training, every meal you choose, every step you take is meaningless. But when you live with purpose, each of these actions becomes part of the journey, part of the story you are writing with your life. Purpose gives you clarity. It tells you why you must rise early and train, why you must say no to indulgence, why you must push through discomfort. It gives you the strength to endure, the discipline to persist, the will to succeed. A life without purpose is a life half-lived, a body without meaning. But a life with purpose ignites your passion and fuels your willpower. You are not simply taking care of your body for the sake of health alone. You are doing it because you have a mission, because you have a purpose that requires strength, resilience, and vitality. And as long as you stay focused on that mission, your body will respond. It will serve you. It will carry you forward. So, ask yourself, what is your purpose, and are you living in service to it? Your body is the vessel that will carry you through the journey of your life. Make sure it is strong, capable, and ready for the task. Because when you live with purpose, every choice you make becomes part of a greater, more meaningful story.